Steady rest. Did somebody say steady rest? Watch this next video to answer all your questions about using a steady rest on your mini lathe. Like I said, we're going to be working with steady rest. I picked up a couple of steady rests over the last weekend because I had a small job a friend of mine asked me to do. Really simple job. He asked me if I could take this PVC tube and just face it off nice and square on both ends at about 8 inches. I thought, sure, I can do that, but I don't have a steady rest. So I went out and bought one. A really sweet deal. I went to a little machine shop and I got 2 of them for $100. This is a 1 to 2 inch with bearings, and this is a 0 to 1. It doesn't have bearings, but it does interchange. The fingers interchange. But anyway, the first thing you need to do is know how to set up your steady rest. I can show you how I was taught how to do that. You need to get this all set up as close to the chuck as possible. What I mean is, I need to turn something this size real close to the chuck. I happen to have another piece of plastic. And I thought, okay, I'll put this in here, put a center in there, and turn it down to what the piece of PVC is. Okay, I guess we need to get a good dimension on this thing. 658, 656. And this seems to be 754, 1 inch 754. So I have about 100 thousandths I need to take off of there, just under. I think I can do that. First thing, let's put this in here and get a center on here so it don't come flying out of the machine. I'm good for that. This thing is sticking out pretty far. It kind of has a flat surface on there. It's kind of dented up. I found it in my plastic bin. Let's turn this on, see how it's spinning. It's not spinning too bad. I'm going to try to just pop a center in there. I don't care how deep it is, just as long as it's something to hold while I turn it down. Let's do this. Keep my fingers crossed I don't flip it out of the machine. Seems to have worked. Let's put a center in this thing and get some measurements and start turning. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put a piece of high-speed steel in there, like I always do. I want to turn back at least an inch. Oh, what the heck, I'll go all the way back to here, 1.5 inches or so. Okay, let's get some oil on this thing. I like a thin oil when I'm cutting. If I'm using oil with plastic, I usually don't. Okay. I'm going to use my power feed. Takes a little longer, but it's a little smoother. I left the witness mark where my dead stop is. Okay, let's get a measurement on there. $7.25. Okay, I have 67 thousandths to go. That was a 30 thousandths cut. Take another 30. I could hear that tool bit cutting this like plastic thread. Okay, let's measure that. I have about 8 thousandths to go. Well, that's what I'm going to take off on my next pass. All right, a little oil. I'll dial in 8 thousandths. And we'll see what happens. Woo, almost forgot to put the center back in. That'd be terrible. But that would be just like me. Okay, now 2, 4, 6, 8. $6.57. To put this steady rest on here, I need to bring this stem or stop, bolt, whatever you want to call it, in from the bottom. Place my steady rest on it. Make sure that everything was clean. Okay, washer's on. Place that on there. Now I have to bring the fingers all the way back. And now what I have to do, tighten the steady rest down to the ways and slowly start adjusting these bearings until they start spinning, because I'm going to have this running real slow. Okay, let's do that. All right. I think I just said that I'm going to be running this very slowly. And so that I know when I make contact with these roller bearings, ball bearings, I'm going to put some dots on here so I could see if they're moving. I think 3 should be enough. I'll put one on the top also, but I'm not really going to be setting the top. I'll probably bring it down just to let it run a little bit, but I'll have the bottom 2 set, move this, put in the real part, laying it on the bottom bearings and tightening it in to the chuck, and then I will adjust the top. Anyway, let's do this. Let's see, do I have my wrenches? I'll tighten this down. Okay, power to the machine is on. It's turning. Okay, that roller bearing is spinning. Now, I'll do the front one. It is spinning. I'll lock that down. Both of those are running, spinning. I'm going to bring this down just a little. That's moving. It's not doing anything weird. I'm going to call that set. And what I have to do next is loosen this, of course, the top one. Take the steady rest, move it out to where I'm going to be using it, and let's get on with this. First thing is, let's get this off of here. I locked that thing down. Okay. Next, let's find my chuck key. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have to change jaws. Or okay. I guess I'm not as smart as I appear. Yes, just had to bring those jaws out. Okay. This thing is set. Let's lock it down. Let's move this up. Put the tool on it that I'll be using, which will be high-speed steel. This is plastic. That looks like it'll work. Let's tighten this thing down. All right. That's there. Okay. I'm going to run it slowly and adjust this top roller. All right. This first side, I just need to cut it off. Spin it around, and that's where I need to start measuring to bring it to 8 inches. He just said as close to 8 inches as possible. Let's do this. It actually cleaned up a lot faster than I thought. Let's see, do I have a piece of emery paper? I have some Scotch-Brite. I'll use that to just clean up the burrs. Looks good. My friend that I'm doing this for said as close as possible. I'm going to see how close that is. Although you got to remember I'm doing it on mini lathe. Okay. I'll use this here. Okay. What I'm going to do is turn it around and take a quick cut, take it out and measure it. Let's do that. First things first. Loosen this. Bring it up. Turn it around. Okay, it's spinning. Okay, I'm going to take a light cut and take it out again, measure it, and see what I have to take off. Let's do that. I can't get a caliper in here, so I'm going to have to take it out. That is 8 inches, 253, 54, somewhere around there. So about 250 at least, 253 has to come off of there. Let's do that. I have a 253,000 pin. I'm going to put that between my dead stop and my carriage. Then I'm going to move my compound in until I just touch this. Remove the pin and take that material off until it hits my dead stop again. Let's see how that's going to work. All right, let's bring that top finger down again. Okay, it's down. Tighten this. The next thing I need to do is put the pin in there. Let's do that. Pin is in between my dead stop and my carriage. Let's try and touch off. Bringing it in slowly. It appears as though I'm just skimming across it. Can't be more than 1,000. Now let's move the pin, remove the pin. And that should be 250 thousandths when I move this to the dead stop. Just have to keep moving this carriage in till it hits the dead stop, and it should be there. plastic does swell if it gets too hot, and more can come off than I want, but we're gonna just go with it. It looks like I'm up against the stop. I don't know if you heard that thump. A piece of the plastic must have went under the roller. It scared the hell out of me. Okay, let's take it out and measure it. Eight inches and 3/1000. I think that's pretty damn good for a mini lathe. All right. I think you'll be happy with this. Well, all he really wanted was nice square ends to the body here. And like I said, it's going to go into some electronic gizmo that he's making, I think. So I think this turned out pretty good. Started out as a little plastic job, and I got a new steady rest out of it. And, you know, before I wrap this video up, I just wanted to explain a little bit why you would go through all the trouble of setting this up real close to the chuck. What that is supposed to help with is if you just try to take something this long or longer and set the compound out here, which you can, but if it's not set in there properly, say you had set it to where these are a lot higher, or in some odd form that this is not actually straight, what happens is the chuck jaws don't grab onto here straight. And as it turns, it starts this kind of action. Up, back, up, back, up, back. And what happens is it starts to work its way out of the chuck. It walks out of the chuck. And what happens then is you're not only ruining your part because the dimensions aren't staying the same, but it could flip out. A lot of different things should happen that are not safe. So it's best to set your steady rest up. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is how I learned how to do it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, I think this video has come to an end. So, until next time, enjoy.